Hey everyone, had a litter the other day, taped it, and of course something went wrong with the audio. So I am over talking the video because I screwed up, I guess. Anyway, so this is my pastel hypo female that I produced back in 2014. Um, she comes from a long line of hypos that I've been producing over the years. I always keep one back, raise them up, and try and clean up the line a little bit. And so far, she's been my best one. It's her second litter. Um, so she's bred to a sunglow this year. So all these babies are het for albino. So she is just finished up. I tried to get her, having the babies, tried to see it, but she really blocked me from filming the birth because the way she had them. She just had them kind of over there in the corner, and she had her body in between me and the camera. So I couldn't get my camera up high enough to film it, but she's got a big pile of babies right there in that corner, and she's just finished pushing the last one out. So she's just kind of going to investigate them, smell them, and if I left her in there long enough, what she would do is just take her head and plow right through them, just run right through them, and just try and uh, break them out of that membrane, that sac, so they can take their first breath. A lot of them have already broken out of the sac. Some of them come out of the sac, out of hers. So it's just really weird how it works. But she did have 3 slugs in this litter. You can see one right here. There you go. She's cocking that head right there. So she just pushed through that pile with her head there. But anyway, 3 slugs. It's infertile eggs. They're just like a big jelly bean. You just throw them in the trash. But typically, the less slugs, the better, because if there's a higher ratio of slugs to live babies, they can get stuck inside of them. So you don't want anything to stay in there. So she will, she'll just hang out here for a while and plow through them. So here I pulled her out, I fed her. Here's the pile of babies and a big pile of goo. And typically they stay there for hours, just resting and breathing for the first time. So here I go. I'm pulling them out. One thing you'll see is in this litter, you'll see a lot of them have these little circles in between the saddles. That's it's one of the things the mother had when she was a baby, and that's kind of what I held her back. It's really cool. Here's a really, really nice pastel hypo. This thing is going to be insane. Really, the hypo gene doesn't kick in for 3 to 6 months, and this thing's already like glowing. So I'm really excited about that one. So this litter, there's it's hypo bred to a sunglow, which has hypo in it too. So what you're going to get is you're going to get 50% of this litter is going to be hypo. 25% will be super hypo, and then 25% will be normal. So sometimes it's easy to see the super hypos, and sometimes it's not. In this litter, it's not very, very easy to see. And you can never be 100% sure until you breed one, whether it's a super hypo or a hypo. But so out of this litter, there's 19 live, and of which 4 were normal. So it's about 25%. So you can see they're all in that membrane, that goo. And as the night goes on, they'll crawl around and it'll just kind of all fall off. And so I'll change the paper towels, change them like 3 or 4 times in the next 24 hours. This one here is still in his sac, but he's poked his head out, so he's breathing. But you can see little blood vessels, inside that membrane. That is attached to the yolk, which is attached to the umbilical cord. But the yolk's all gone now, so that's good. There's another really nice hypo. So if they're born with a little yolk, they can have some problems, and you can lose some of them. So it's always good to see like their bellies aren't fat and they've just used up all that yolk. So here's another one with those circles. There's a real light one. That's nice. Kind of like that darker, rich red color there. So this one here, I didn't notice it at first. This one's actually deformed. It's got spinal kinks in about 4 or 5 places. This one actually didn't live very long at all. Sometimes, I guess with the way they're in the mothers, you know, and they're pushed up a certain way, I don't know, but they'll come out with some spinal kinks. Sometimes I get little kink tails or something, but sometimes it just happens. Luckily, it was just that one. Here's another one that has those little dots. That's going to be a good looking animal. There's another light one right there. Here's one that's still in the sack. It hasn't taken a breath yet. So I'm gonna kind of tease it to get it to bust out of that sack, and you can see it take its first breath. It'll open its mouth and just take a big breath. And there he goes. That's so cool. I love watching that. I think there's a couple more. There's another hypo, and I think there's another normal coming up. So, you know, I'll leave them in together for about 10 to 12 days, and once they start shedding out, it's going to be really cool, and I'll take pictures of it and post them, and really excited about this litter. I'll hold most of these back till at least 6 months to kind of see how their color comes out. Really pleased with this litter, and the mom seems to have passed everything, so I think she'll be okay. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will be posting one more boa litter soon. She should be having some sun glows here any day, and hopefully I'll be able to get it on video. So hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you next time.